This is the life we're fortunate enough to have. The comfort, the opportunities, the small joys that we sometimes take for granted. But for some, this is the harsh reality they face every day. Many are struggling to survive in the world, filled with hardship and inequalities.
But do you think that this is fair? Everyone deserves a home, a safe space, and a place to unwind. Affordable housing should be accessible all over the globe. But unfortunately, housing prices have gone up tremendously over the past couple of years, not allowing for everyone to access one. But what exactly is affordable housing?
So I think a lot of people would look at affordable housing as being able to pay about 30% of your income for the housing portion and then having 70% for the rest of the stuff. So that's the ideal, and it seems pretty far from that right now, but that's sort of the target that most people think.
Affordable housing's biggest misconception is that it only keeps the roof over your head. But the truth is, it helps in so many different aspects of a person's life. But what are these aspects?
It's increasingly more important to frame these as not just housing. Like, housing is not just a solution to put a roof over someone's head. Housing is also a solution for someone's livelihood, their economic mobility, their health, their community, their mental and social well-being, and it contributes to all those different factors.
There's a lot of studies that have been out there that shows without stable housing, kids have very difficult times in schools, have very difficult times in development. Adults, it's really hard to find or keep a job if you don't have stable housing. Mm-hmm. So really a lot of times where there's a continuum of what we call affordable housing, from housing homeless people to getting housing for families that may just be low-income families that need support.
Implementing such a big change isn't so easy. Housing prices have skyrocketed and are taking away people's rights to a home. This year alone, the number of listings versus sold houses in Sacramento are vastly different. As prices are increasing, incomes aren't, making people financially weak and housing especially hard to invest in.
Over the past 3 decades, HCD, or California's Department of Housing and Community Development, has funded more than $3 billion towards the building of more affordable housing in California. Yet we still have a shortage. Why is that?
We have a very bizarre housing market at the moment. Home prices record high, making it very difficult for potential first-time buyers to enter the market. We know about high interest rate and also the lack of inventory in the marketplace.
Unfortunately, we have, I think in California especially, a history of affordability problems. But I think there's a lot of issues. One of the bigger things is that, we're not building enough units. And so, as population grows and units don't grow accordingly, then people feel squeezed, and then, rents go up, and the price of homes goes up. And so I think that we're, sort of caught in this struggle, especially in California, for building more units.
We're 3.8 million homes short, 3.8 million homes short of what we need. Not a single state in the country has enough housing.
The reason we have a huge housing crisis in this country is because of affordability. One of the major reasons is home prices, which has skyrocketed in the last few years, plus interest rates, which has increased drastically over the past few years due to inflation and how the Fed is trying to control the inflation. Hence, that has contributed into a higher cost factor when you're buying homes.
Rising housing, gas, and food costs are the main drivers of inflation, but housing costs are the key driver. Home prices rose 10.4% in 2020 and another 18.8% in 2021. Rental housing prices rose 17.6% in 2021, far outpacing income increases.
Now for a factor that we're all familiar with, the COVID-19 pandemic.
The housing crisis was already in full action before the pandemic. I feel like the pandemic exposed the intensity of the crisis.
It also rose the cost of material for housing by an average of 19% from pre-COVID.
In many communities just like this one, there's a common attitude shared where people have negative connotations with low-income families moving into the community, thinking it will decrease the value of the community. This attitude is commonly known as not in my backyard, or NIMBY.
A home ensures a safe space day by day.
Proper housing is the right that we all have, no matter your race, background, or gender. We all deserve a home.
But how do we get everyone the key to success?
But what is the change we have to make to unlock these doors for everyone?
Instead of not in my backyard, we want it to be YIMBY, yes in my backyard. Because it's a really good, beneficial thing to a community. Like, instead of that blighted piece of land where either there's like a rundown building or it's just dirt, it's gonna be way better to have a new building with a bunch of new community members or community members who potentially were living on the street otherwise. Now there's more wealth generation in the area. It's a good thing for the community, and people should just reframe the narrative.
By simply making the change of expanding affordable housing voucher programs,
Improving access to financing,
and shifting our perspective of our community's efforts, we can lower or even overcome this problem together.
and it starts now.
A roof over a person's head isn't just a privilege.
It's a right.
And together we can ensure everyone has a home.